Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here, a celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We're gonna celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. We're gonna celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you.
I'm on my own, broken and alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost.
Join us in the heart of personal transformation with Level Up Circle TV, your exclusive gateway to unlocking your inner potential and achieving extraordinary results. This TV show is your secret weapon for personal and professional development, packed with valuable insights, expert advice, and real-life success stories. Are you ready to take the leap and transform your life? Don't just watch, participate. Tune in, take notes, and then take action. The journey to your greatest self starts here. So, get inspired, get motivated, and get ready to level up. Join us and let's embark on this transformative adventure together. Click that remote and let's start making your dreams a reality. Thank you guys so much. Welcome to Level Up Academy TV show. These are our 27 co-authors of the anthology, Beyond Boundaries, Thriving in Life's Gray Zone. 27 different stories that's going to be graced in your Kindle. It will be free for 48 hours starting March 14th. So make sure be ready to read our stories. We are no longer just surviving, we are thriving. And I cannot wait for you guys to read each and every one's story. Today, our topic is, what is your purpose in life, right? The TV shows on Sundays are going to be dedicated on lots of learning, not just highlighting people, but lots of learning, right? Last week, we learned a little bit about what we do. This week, we're going to talk about what is your purpose. But ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, friends from far wide the continent, today I stand before you to share a message of profound simplicity, yet immense depth. A message about honesty, self-awareness, and the divine blessings that follow. It is a message rooted in a timeless wisdom that transcends cultures, religions, and of course, philosophies. Whether you are a Christian, a Buddhist, a Muslim, or any other religion that you believed in, my religion is Christianity. God blesses those who are honest with themselves about where they are. Often we put a mask, we put a facade of where we're at. How is God supposed to help you when you are always not within your location? Think about this analogy. When you are trying to go to your dentist, or you're going to try to make an appointment for an important meeting, and you put in your GPS location so that Waze or Google can help you. Do you put an address from your bakery when you're actually at home? Do you put your address from your local mall when you're actually at home? How are you supposed to get to your destination, right? You can't. You put your location on your GPS because that's where you're going to start driving out of there. It's the same concept. God cannot help you when you are not honest with yourself of where you're at, your current situation. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with where you're at. Don't put that facade. Don't put that mask, because in your journey, you're not alone. People are helping you, but they don't know how to help you if you're always on a mask. In our journey through life, we encounter moments that challenge us, that push us to our limits, and that inevitably reveal our true selves. These moments demand of us an honesty that is often uncomfortable and introspection that can be confronting. It is in these moments of true self-awareness that we find the greatest opportunity for growth, for grace, and for divine guidance and intervention. Being honest with ourselves about where we are is not admission of defeat. Rather, it is an act of courage. It requires us to look in the mirror, to acknowledge our flaws, our struggles, our vulnerabilities. It demands that we recognize our current position, no matter how far it might be from where we aspire to be. This kind of honesty is the first step toward genuine transformation, toward bettering ourselves, and ultimately towards fulfilling our divine purpose, our friendship, and our businesses, right? Make sure that you guys are being honest with yourselves where you are currently, right? You do not put that facade that you're okay when you're not. Acknowledge your failings, sought forgiveness, and endeavored to change. Your honesty opened doors to those blessings and guidance and support, illustrating your truth, universal truth, not just your own truth. But when you're honest with ourselves, we align our hearts with our friends who can make room, and with God who can give you grace to enter that transformed lives. Right? And God's blessing upon those who are honest with themselves are manifold. They came in the form of peace that surpasses our understanding. So be gentle with yourself today and tonight. We're going to be talking about what is your purpose. CJ, I can't see your face. I know, because I want you guys to see this 27 amazing co-authors, okay? Co-authors, and 2 of them are going to be here tonight. And we're going to talk about what is their purpose. And why did they start their businesses? And why are they here tonight, right? But first, I also want to encourage you to actually check out Level Up Academy. We're going to be leveling up courses like nobody's business in your own languages. 100 different languages we can reach you at. Okay, and there's going to be opportunities of learning. I'm going to be giving you free classes here on Sundays with my amazing guests, but also our dear sister Susanna, okay, will tell you storytelling, the strategy for your business. It's going to be March 5th at 10 a.m. guys, morning, PST, okay? And you're like, sign up here, where? Just QR code this one. Ready? There's the QR code. Go ahead and register. It is free. There is no fee, because that's how we are. We are very, very caring for our community. We want you guys to learn a little bit here and there. We have full-blown classes that Susanna Dawn is going to be giving you. And you're probably thinking, who's Susanna Dawn? That is your job, okay? Your job to get to know her, and your job to get to know why she's an amazing sister on Level Up Academy. But this Tuesday at 10 a.m., you will get to know her amazing superpower of storytelling. Okay, and you are graced with the great Susanna Dawn. So make sure you guys, okay, make sure you sign up. It is free. You get a certificate of attendance, and also you will be entering our giveaway to be featured in our MP3. MP3 has 90 nations and countries, right? Millions of listeners, people. And that is for free if you go to our class, and you can enter on there. So that is where we're at right now. Are you guys ready? I don't know. I don't like my face tonight anyway. I'm sad right now, but for many reasons. It's a personal thing with my pup, but we'll go from there. But hi everybody. How are you guys doing? So I hope everyone is good. Everyone is safe tonight. You're just chilling with us, trying to get to know us a little bit, right? I also want to share something else. Okay, I will continue to highlight Danielle, our sister Danielle, and her family. We are a strong community. Level Up Circle is strong with the Hounds of Business community. We're all from the Hounds. We are leveling up always, but sometimes we need help, and we need your help, right? Our sister Danielle's going to be here tonight, and I love her and her family. If you want to know why, just go ahead and scan that QR code. Her story is on there, right? And we help, no questions asked, when it comes to our community. Oh, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? I don't know if you guys are ready. We'll see. We have to see. Look up. Hold on one second. Let's see if this actually will play. But that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to show you that Susanna has a lot of classes and a lot of books. And we do have our sister Danielle. So if you are a HR person, or if you are an organization who needs consulting to really research what your people are doing, how your people are being productive, you need to call out on our sister Danielle. I wanted to also share information. Let me see if I can share something real quick. Before I show you guys on what is happening, I want you guys to see, because I am looking for sponsor in terms of what is happening with Level Up. We are looking for sponsor to be in our shows. There's going to be different types of shows that you can be in. Sponsorship basically is all about brand awareness of who you are. We are a global organization, but let me share, if I can share my screen here. You guys seeing my screen? No, you're not seeing my screen. Let me show it on the stream. There it is. Okay. So January, we have about 100,000 views just for the month of January. We were at 44,000. So YouTube people, thank you for your support. Like, comment, right? I am reviewing things in YouTube right now because we have new rules and new regulations in terms of having live views versus team replay views. So I'm kind of playing around with that. Right now in February, we are at 90,000. So consistency is the key, 90,000 views. We had a shorter days on February. And then now our subscribers have gone to 45,000. Keep in mind, guys, I just hit 20,000 in December. That's like 2 months ago, I hit 20,000. And now we doubled that up in just 2 months. So that's how much growth we are watching and looking at Level Up Academy. And what's that mean for you? If you are a brand, if you are an organization, and you need to be seen, heard, whatever messages, products, or services that you're selling, go ahead and partner up with us for sponsorship. Impressions from January was 265,000 views, 79.6%, or close to 80%. YouTube recommending our content. That means more brand awareness for your organization. In February, even though we had a shorter month, we actually moved it up to 186,000 impression at 90% people who are watching our shows giving us saying, hey, go ahead and watch this show. What does that mean? And why am I sharing it to you? It's because, like I said, if you are an organization looking to sponsor your messages and brand awareness, we have that for you. All right. So enough about that. Are you guys ready for Danielle and Chanda? We want to get to know them and where they're at, right? So let's go ahead and welcome them. Hi, Sister Danielle. How are you?
Can you hear me okay?
Now I can. Let's bring our sister Chanda. How are you?
Hello, hello. Glad to be here.
Oh, welcome. Welcome to Level Up Academy. So some people haven't really seen you here, Chanda, so we're going to start with you. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what is your purpose?
Oh, good question. Well, I am Chanda Spates, founder of Flourish Foundation Project. We have a DBA of DDAAT, and we're the National Suicide Prevention and School Safety Coalition. My purpose is to save kids and help to combat this national suicide crisis that we're at. We want to make safe communities and safe schools. And that is what I'm here, and that's what I do. And we do it through engaging ways that meet kids where they are.
That is really amazing because our children are our future, right? Our kids are our future. And there's so many issues here in America with shooting, kids shooting other kids and killing themselves while at it, or bullying and killing themselves. Stories only goes out when someone actually pays attention. How many stories, untold stories out there that's happening every day that we don't even know, right? So what you're doing is amazing. Go ahead, Sister Danielle, your turn.
Hi, everyone. Good evening in most places. Greetings to everyone. So humbled and grateful to be here again with Sister CJ and Shonda. My name is Danielle Manawis, and I'm co-owner and CEO of Castaneda Manawis Consulting. CMC for short specializes in simplifying the intricate maze of the workplace and challenges, and prides ourselves on casting clarity in the complexity of the workplace. As experts in human resources, we provide straightforward and effective solutions that steer organizations towards success. I'm really excited that CMC believes that empowering leaders to start with their hearts and lead and communicate with empathy is essential to transform organizations and work cultures to increase their overall organizational health, and can have a powerful impact on productivity, efficiency, and thereby increasing the return of investment, or ROI. So thank you, Sister CJ.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having your information provided for everyone and what CMC can do for the community. Now, I want to start with Shanda about where you started this idea. How did you start this idea? And how did you find your purpose?
I found my purpose. We turn pain into purpose. And that's what we do literally every day. So when my son was transferring from middle school to high school, he went into a much larger school, about 3 times the size of his middle school. And that school, unfortunately, here in Charlotte, North Carolina, was gang infested. And my oldest son, has cerebral palsy, so he walks with a very significant limp. And when he moved from the middle school, where he was going, everyone knew him and kind of embraced him. But when he went into this other school with all these new kids, he was met with some bullying, and it got to where it was extreme bullying. He's been rushed from school by ambulance twice, received 2 concussions. He's been hacked like a couple of one time 22 kids at one time, and another time 9 kids at one time. And those are 2 times they rush him by ambulance to school. But long story short, going through that process, trying to get the school system to listen, we were met with some really not heart-centered people. there is a, although well-meaning, well-intended policy here in Charlotte, North Carolina, for zero tolerance for fighting, which means if you're in a fight, um, everyone in the fight is suspended for 10-day suspension. So my son was suspended for, I think it was 4 suspensions in 1 calendar year. So that's a lot considering that he never once started the fight. And what can you do? My son walks with a significant limp, metal pins in his hip for cerebral palsy because of the spasticity in his limbs pull his hips up. So I was pleading with the school system to protect my, these beatings that he was getting could shatter his hips. It was, horrific. Long story short, as I'm battling the school and it got into legal battles and things of that nature, my son gave up and he turned to suicide cancer. Thankfully, he posted it on social media and saw it and called. It was one of his cousins that saw it and called their mom. Their mom called me, and I called one. I told them to break the door in, go in and try to find him. And it took them about 15, 20 minutes to revive him. So I sat pleading with God behind an ambulance. I will do what needs to be done if you'll just let my child survive. And I take that to heart. I've been living my purpose every every day since then to figure out what it is. How we got this and turned it into a business was not immediate. I found that not only what I do in my corporate life is corporate gap analysis. So I started looking at what's kind of causing this trend, not just for our family, but in general, because we my son went to a facility for a short while, and then we went to counseling and so forth. But what I found, and what was really true for us, is kids don't embrace counseling. So we're giving kids adult solutions that they don't embrace with. They're not going to sit down and pour their heart out to a stranger in a couch. No matter how I try to connect with them, we have to reach them where they are. So I started looking for programs that were more engaging to appeal to a teenager. And when that was not available and wasn't found, I created it. So what we've come now, fast forward several years, because him becoming bullied um, was almost 5 years ago. And then it took about 2 years for us to decide to make it a business, and actually take what we learned from this experience to put it into practice so other people can benefit from it. So we have created a mobile app that gives single sign-on access to counselors, mentors, and wraparound services that are statistically found to help increase the effectiveness of counseling for kids specifically. Uh, and then we also have an upcoming gamified version of that. And we have now our own curriculum, and we are in the process of starting a support channel so that we can send this local program to a national footprint and be able to help kids. And that's what our goal, our mission is every day. How can we connect with kids? How can we let them know that there are other choices other than something final like suicide, and reach them in a way that they can embrace? So what we do that for and through is music. So we're able to teach them suicide prevention strategies through song, through music, plays on the radio, so we can reach more kids. And that is what's needed, because this is the largest number of suicides ever recorded in history was in 2023. 1.7 million kids suicide last year.
That's very sad. And that's just numbers, like I said, the told stories. What about the untold stories and the kids and the family who suffers in silence in fear of judgment? Culture has a lot to do with it as well, right? And I'm so sad because our culture is a working culture now. Back in the, I'm not saying like, during the time where women actually don't have a voice, where we just stay home with the kids, right? I think there's got to be an harmony and balance where mom can still be with the kids and watch the kids, while still able to provide for the family, right? I just saw a TikTok. I was scrolling TikTok today about bulldog puppies. And because I have an English bulldog who's pregnant right now, and I call her my daughter. And I'm just praying for guidance. And when I was scrolling bulldogs, I scrolled one thing that it says about like how kids suffer in silence and fear of judgment from their own family, and that our kids are raised by social media, but yet we like, oh, what happened? I didn't see that was happening. Or and look at all the Hollywood people who have money. Money has nothing to do with mental illness, right? Money has nothing to do with that. I feel like the kids are now feeling so much more unloved from their parents, so much more detached. And I don't blame parents because I'm a parent myself, right? And my kid got bullied too, and I was always there. I was almost like a helicopter mom. I had to like lay off my second child right now, but I think she has too much freedom lately. But um I don't know how to find the balance. I don't know what the answer is, right? And I love that you found your purpose, but I hate that you found your purpose because of pain,
Mm.
because of suffering, because of hurt. Most business owners out there, we start our business, the entrepreneurs, the gigapreneurs, the solopreneurs, we start our business because of our experiences not so good.
Mhm.
Do you not notice that? Every single business owners out there started their business not because, hooray, great experience, I'm starting this business. Most of the time you start your business, especially the ones with a purpose and with grit, is because of a problem. Think about Canva. Canva started not because, oh, we want to be the best of everything. They started because they had a problem with Adobe. The kids couldn't figure out the learning curve was too much, right? And so they started that 15, 20 years ago, and they're $26 billion company today. I'm not saying, because I want to squash this, I'm not heart-centered if you make money, right? There's always that rumor mill, you're making money, you're not heart-centered. When did that happen? The more money we make, the more people we can hire and the more people we can help.
Absolutely.
Straight and simple.
Yeah.
Also, another thing I wanted to tell you out there, if you're a business owners and you get a little gossip, dirty gossip, is stop controlling everybody else. Control your own selves instead, right? And what I really want and learn is how can we support you, support these kids, Shanda? Let's talk about the app because I know that costs a lot of money. And I wanted to talk about that and what our sister Danielle is doing for you. And that's why she's here today too, is because we're trying to help you raise funds for what we need, right? We're all about helping our community today, but we also want you to know her story, our story, on what we're doing for our community. This is not a joke, guys. Nothing of what we say is a fun thing or begging for. We're not begging nothing. We're actually asking you from your hearts of how you can help. You are in business because you want to help others. These are trying times for everybody. But your act of kindness, one act of kindness can really save multiple lives. So I want to talk to my sister Danielle on what she's doing behind the dashboard, behind the closed doors, on trying to help you. And then we look back to you and what you need. Sister Danielle, take over.
Yeah, so I have the moment I met Shonda, we connected kind of like my connection with you, sister CJ. And when she told me, I, fell in love with her vision because I'm with her that no other child should feel alone in that, right? And it ties into my business because my purpose came from my pain as well. And, when my husband had 2 strokes because the hospital missed that he was having a stroke, he actually was not getting oxygen to his brain for 3 days. And that goes into my business that we lead with empathy. We communicate from that. And I think that could have changed his quality of life. Same thing if people would have intervened for Shonda's son. If we would have led and communicated with empathy, it could have been different. And so for me, um, knocking on doors and my connection so that I can help Shonda to fund her app, because no other kid should feel like they're alone. And they should feel like there's a community of people working so hard so that they don't have to worry and that they can heal from it. So, I almost cried when you were saying your story, Shonda, because, you know, it shouldn't have happened.
Right. I definitely agree. The the alarming thing is that we're not alone. I think the catalyst of what started this into kind of a movement is I got to the point where at the time I worked for a major bank here in Charlotte. So, I've got good insurance. So I'm thinking we're okay. We're, upper middle class and so forth. And I found out like the rude awakening comes in because FMLA we have in this country and it protects your job. You can be off work for 12
Whew.
weeks, but it's not paid if it's for your child. It's only paid if it's for yourself. So then, as a single mom going through back to back surgeries for a double lumpectomy at the time and going through a divorce at the same time. So, this was a trifecta. I was literally crying and asking God, you know, what did I do? Why are you mad at me? Because sometimes you feel like you're walking through the most horrific time. And I'm just like, I'm a good person. What did I do? What's going on? But hindsight being 2020, I realized that every single thing that God took me through at that time um, set me up for where we are now and what we're building. I learned how to make an app because I did a no code software app to help other people with child support issues and to explain what you can do and what you cannot do. I'm not an attorney, but just what I learned. So it was kind of a mobile app where you can go in and see the forms and what questions to ask your attorney to help in child support situations. So from there, when my son got to this point, I was a little familiar about how to make an app. So it's what brought the idea up. And then going through the problems with insurance, I found that okay, you've got this 12 weeks, but it's not paid for your child. So then I literally went on social media and made a plea on um on social media to say, is anyone else going through this? Because I have to worry if I leave my child home alone, will he be alive when I get back? Or do I go to work and not being able to afford not to go to work because it's not paid? And if it's not paid, I can't pay for his appointments, which I had to pay for because my insurance covered 6 appointments a year. And the doctors want him to go twice a week. So my insurance, and this is how insurance companies get away with those things, they're not necessarily saying that you cannot go. You just have to have 3 doctors to approve and say it's medically necessary. And the only doctor that said it wasn't medically necessary was the insurance company's doctor. So I ended up having to pay out of pocket for his counseling visits. So those are the things that will wreck any person's financial structure. You basically rendered insurance useless. So people are going through not only dealing with the suicidal child, you're worried because you're scared to leave them home alone. I had to get a babysitter for a 17-year-old. And so this whole thing with the app and how it became this coalition that it is today was networking other parents that were going through the same thing. I went from 384 people on my social media account to 5,002 because that many people resonated with what we were talking about and said, hey, I'm in Charlotte too. And we put together a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet, and we matched people based on their work shifts so we could babysit each other's children. And that became sitting in my den and in my kitchen brainstorming how can we fix this because this is not going to get fixed by itself. But the thing that I want people to resonate with is that we have to stop waiting for someone else to be the solution. We have to become the solution. And that's what we did. I will tell you right now, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's working. And it's working. We're talking conversations. Again, you can do plenty in it, but the ultimate goal is to have a social life or solve what you solve. We have to start solving together. We have to stop working in silos. There are counseling agents all over, but they're all working. And what I have differently is to analyze, find the solution, the research data behind support it alone. I got different organizations, free universities together to say, here's what we can do. There's no funding. Service in kind. I have a medical institution that gives access to a bus. So where would it take you to schools north or south? You get the bus. They cover.
Yeah. Um, I think Shanta, what needs to be done, like while you're talking, I'm actually seeing like, government spends so much money on war and issues that shouldn't be actually be spent on, and keep putting education budget that doesn't really work for our educational system. And we have to learn from other people and other cultures and how they raise their kids to be resilient, right? And the first 4 to 5, like literally maybe even 8 years old, they don't actually learn the alphabet and all that academic stuff. They learn how to be human first. They learn self-confidence. They learn how to be kind and nice, right? Japanese students actually go through that. They learn how to be people first. They learn independence. They learn not to listen to external other than your family who's kind to you, right? They learn all those things. And I think our educational system should follow suit, right? In terms of that, the only thing they shouldn't follow suit is beat your kids if you're not getting an A plus, because Asian people are really crazy with their academics. That I don't agree with following suit. Being Asian myself, that's been very hard. But at the same time, their suicide rates, Koreans actually have really high suicide rates for their children, even adult children that are, well, young children, I should say, young adults, because of academic, right? It's not even bullying of that. It's bullying that you're not smart enough. There's so many forms of bullying out there that it's crazy. It's not just United States who is getting and killing kids and all this. It's because, and killing themselves, right? It's the judgment, it's the fear, because we're so gang up and gang ho on getting external factors to affect us so much through social media, right? To be perfect, to be somebody else's whatever. Like the analogy I've heard, I don't remember who said it, but think about the flower, okay? I'm not the best person to actually give you this analogy because I'm a serial plant murderer. I cannot even do any type of plant. But I love the analogy they use. It says, okay, when you are planting a seed, it grows to, a beautiful flower, and the flower dies. Do you blame the flower? Do you blame the soil? Do you blame the environment? Do you blame the sun? Right? What do? You dig to the problem. Maybe it didn't have any sun. Maybe it did, but most of the time for us people, we blame other people of our own problems because we're not growing, right? Because we're not doing anything when the answer really lies in you. But as a mother, it's hard to see how can we help our children. We're already here. We can't turn back time. We wish that we could erase their pain, but we can't. It's there. It's existing, right? What we can do is live for today and heal. But everything else is going against healing because even our own system does not even work in healthcare, right? So how do we protect our children? Right? How do we protect our children from killing themselves?
Whew.
Heavy question. I think the main answer is that it's not just one way, because the source of reason is going to vary from child to child. So the real question is, how do we get to them and give them other strategies and resources so we can build resilience so that when the crisis comes, they know how appropriate ways to handle it. So that's what we have to do. So we have to look at things from twofold. We have to start prevention and proactively preventing these things from happening and building a toolkit. One of the things that I'm noticing in our society is that even now with this House Bill 605 that just got released in North Carolina, they're putting a crisis management task force in every school. But in our state, 50% of our states do not have a school counselor at all. 50% of the counties in our state don't even have one. So it's good on paper, but the practical application is probably is going to need some help. Is it a good step in the right direction? Yes, it's better than doing nothing, but is it enough? Absolutely, it isn't. The other thing is that we keep, again, giving adult solutions for children's problems. So we can put this task force in there, and the task force, because I read up on the bill, I had some news interviews about it, but the task force goes in and they're going to assess the risk when the problem is communicated. Well, the problem is that children don't communicate the problem. They don't have the words, they don't have the vernacular to do so because we haven't trained them to advocate for themselves. So yes, that is an important key piece, but there's a blatant gap that we are not addressing the children directly. How do we build mental resilience in the children right now? Where do we while that child is dealing and battling with depression, what tools can we give them to address it and to handle it appropriately so that suicide is not the answer, especially when they're being bombarded with things in music and in social media, even in songs, and even like you can walk through the mall, and I won't say the name of the little t-shirt shop, but they have a whole line of t-shirts that have graphic arts on them that say kill yourself and different things like that. And that's what those are subliminal messages that say, okay, this is an option. And we don't have very much at all that's counteracting that. So what we did here with Flourish Foundation and with DDAAT is we researched. We looked at the CDC studies, the Surgeon General studies. We looked at what is happening. And what we found is that this generation of kids, 13 to age 26, Gen Z, spend 3 to 5 hours a day, listening to music and streaming video. Now, if you do the math on that, you're at school for 6 hours. So you're not doing it at school. So once you get out of school, you have 5 more hours that you are listening to music and streaming video. But how many programs address this problem through music? And that's what we do. So we have some songs on that you can download now, Spotify and different places, but we teach suicide prevention strategies through music production, engineering, digital animation, and coding, so that the kids learn how to make games. They learn how to make personal PSA announcements. They learn how to make music that actually matters, that teaches a skill set and a strategy to overcome suicide ideation. So the song Pain Talk is about a child's bullying experience, what he was going through with the bullying, and what he does to overcome that when he hears himself thinking that suicide is the answer. He tells himself to hold on. He tells himself it's just the pain talk. So if we can put that in a song that sounds like the music listened to every day for 3 to 5 hours, now we can put that message in there. How many kids can we reach so that we can build that skill set and build that toolkit of these are the strategies that we can use. So we're teaching them about journaling. We're teaching them about positive statements. We're teaching them when and how to advocate for themselves. It's so many things. These wraparound services are all in one app, a single sign-on that you sign on and get into access to all these things.
I
'Cause
wonder,
they're-
actually, Shanda, that's so good. I wonder if they can have a club in school. You know how there's like Rotary Club, International Club. I wonder if they can have a club that's like hip, not like, oh my God, you're in that club? Ew. You know, like a cool club that you can actually form a circle around your organization. I'm just thinking like we could make that into a club nationally where kids actually can use this app, but also do it in their own little schools, right? So you could reach more people and make it a national club to be it's I don't know what they want to call it, happiness club or a cool kids club. I don't know, something kind of fun to actually get that club going and make it into a hands-on, like you know how school has ASB, right? And ASB is supposed to teach leadership and all that, but obviously it's just the cool kids who has better grades that are in there. I think that there should be a club where there's no requirement in terms of grades, but more of inclusion, you know, like arts and music and whatever. Because my daughter, my eldest, was also bullied at school, and music is what she turned to, right? And so I've been in that situation where I'm like, I don't know what to do. I fail as a mother. Like, that's the first thing I said. I always look
Yeah.
internal. I failed as a mother. I work too much. I was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years now. I went to work, and this is what happens. And so I attacked the school. I'm like, no, that's not what you're doing with my kids. We're having issues. Um, but that's the problem, is like, you know, instead of blaming other people, we got to look at what we're doing. But at the same time, our kids are not with us. Our kids are at school 8 hours, just like we're at work 8 hours, right? So how can we help our kids when they are in that environment, that they are healthy? I think we definitely should have, like, instead of an ASB, some type of an inclusive art club where people and kids like ours can be there and have a mentor, right? A teacher mentor who supports that, who supports kindness, who, you know, who supports artistic way. And just because the kid is different, like I always tell my kids, when you see a child, I don't care what grade it is, when they were in elementary, if they're eating alone, you do eat with them. If even if your friends thinks that that's weird, you tell them to zip down. What if that was you sitting down alone? You sit with that kid. And you know what's amazing is that their teacher actually don't allow to sit kids alone. They have partnered them up to make sure none of the kids feel alone. And so, and then they play, and you know, I do the volunteer where I actually make sure that the kids are not alone. I want to make sure that the kids, you know, when they have allergies, my kids have allergies. I had to learn baking, you know, because she would eat something and she would have allergies. She ends up in the hospital. So I didn't want my kid to look special or be special, right? So you can't just like bake for your kid. So I bake for the entire people without nuts in it. So my kids feel normal in an environment that kids want to eat whatever, right? Kids doesn't know. It's the parents who buy all these things, right? So I had to learn how to bake for my kids to make sure that she doesn't feel like she's left out, because she was already feeling left out. So, but it's hard to find, like you said, customized based on your kids. But the fact that you're doing this, it's amazing. I can't believe we're almost done, actually. So I want to give you the space and time, and then Sister Danielle can close us on what you need help from our community, from our support, right? We're almost hitting 50,000 here in YouTube. We have probably at least good over millions of people listening on radios when we put this on the radio. What are some of the things that they can do to help you succeed in what you're doing for our children and our future?
Well, the app is finished, but we need about $15,000 to launch it. And that is because back in January, there's a law change about how you handle HIPAA information. So we have to add an API to that. So so that we can actually, you can download it, put all your information in that you need to, because again, it's a single sign-on access to everything. You can get a mentor, you can get a counselor, you can learn how to do different types of jobs. And you also we have the world's only behavioral science profile for kids. So you take a short survey and it tells them what their personality type is and how to advocate for themselves with other personality types, how to have conversations with your mom, your sister, your brother, your peer at school, or your teacher. So that is important to get into kids' hands. So we're just looking for fundraising for that purpose. And then beyond that, we want to see it grow to a national level. So right now they can go to www.DDAAT, which is DDAAT-app.com, and you can click on the website. It's a banner at the top, and you can actually click on the website to actually donate. So what we have going on right now is a Power of One challenge. We believe that just like we started this with one person deciding to make a difference and making a ripple, that we can turn that one into many when we put that one together with everybody else. So actually, all we're asking for is everyone to go in and donate $1 because it'll add up. And we should be able to do that in a quick amount of time. And then what that does is it allows us to launch the app, which gives everyone, it will launch nationwide to give every kid the video library with the solutions and the techniques. It gives every kid in the nation access to the radio stations, and we have 5 different genres they can listen to. It's kind of like a cross between some of the paid subscriptions that you can get, but it doesn't let them turn off the commercials, so that the commercials are mixed in with these little key takeaways that teach suicide prevention strategies and mental resilience. We want to be able to do that. We would like to know what other cities can we come to and partner. Like here in Charlotte, North Carolina, we have 2 locations for after school program, so that just like what you were talking about, we can have this cool kids club. Well, this is our after school program, so that we could have these locations and the kids actually learn the strategies, teach it back to someone else. And we want them to be able to bounce off to each other. Let's connect city to city. So let's have DDAAT Atlanta, DDAAT Charlotte, DDAAT San Diego, DDAAT wherever else we happen to be. And let's give these kids a place to thrive, because what they're learning is leadership. They're learning civic responsibility. They're learning suicide prevention strategies, but they're learning it in the context of how do we build a better society? How do we build safe and caring schools and communities? And then they're taking that back. They learn in this app suicide prevention strategies, including QPR, so they can recognize the risk and let a responsible adult know before it becomes a school shooting.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that. There's a QR code for Chanda, guys. I want you guys to connect with Chanda on LinkedIn. And she can give you more information on her website. She also has a link right there on her LinkedIn. If you click that, she created a video for you, giving you more information. Sister Danielle, we have about 60 seconds. Go ahead and tell us where we can find you and how we can also support your business.
Yeah, the best way to find me is emailing me at hr@cmccorp.org, or find me on LinkedIn and message me and we can discuss. I just wanted to put out there that when we lead with empathy and we communicate from that place, we can transform the world around us. Just like my sister Chanda, if we could do that for her, that would be so amazing, because we wouldn't just be saving the kids in our communities, but we would be saving communities and people around the world. So thank you so much, Dr. CJ, for having us here today. And thank you to all of you for listening tonight.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
It's just so amazing that you guys are here, and I appreciate you so much. And this is Sister Danielle's LinkedIn profile. If you guys want to click on that, and you guys know where to find me. For those of you who are on LinkedIn watching, thank you guys so much. My TV show does not like LinkedIn. It only likes YouTube. So if you are messaging me as part of the comment section, I will reply to you. But unfortunately, I can't show your information here because it doesn't recognize LinkedIn. It's just like LinkedIn, no, bad news. But YouTube is where we're living right now. I think we need to help bullies. Kids that are bullies usually have problems at home that comes out in their aggressive bullying behavior. We do. And they are children too, right? They are children too. So thank you guys so much for being here. Let's go ahead and move forward. We're going to continue this conversation, and I'll see you guys soon. Love everybody. See ya. See ya on Tuesday. I have a show specially for children. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.